Hi guys, welcome to today's reading on why they have a problem with you. So sometimes people just have a problem with us and we have no idea why. So whoever you're thinking about, this video is meant to answer that question for you. So we're going to have 3 piles to choose from and I'm going to lay them out right now. Okay, so for group 1, we have this Angelite stone with the 7 of Vessels or the 7 of Cups. For group 2, Petrified wood. It's really pretty. With this Keeper of Swords or the Page of Swords. And for group 3, we have the Shamanic Quartz. And this 10 of Vessels or the 10 of Cups. So go ahead and select your pile using your intuition. I will give you a few moments to meditate. And I will post the timestamps down below in the description and in the comments, so you can fast forward to your pile. Okay, hi group 1. Those of you who picked this Angelite stone, this is your reading on why they have a problem with you. So I'm getting that. Okay, so first of all, here we have the Emperor, and then we have the Divine Feminine, magnetic receptive power. And I feel like there's a clash between you and this individual. Like, I see you as being this Divine Feminine, very grounded, very rooted, very sort of at peace, at peace with being alone. Because here I'm being drawn to the loneliness card. I know that I'm never alone. And so, what's that saying where... if you're alone, like some people struggle to be alone, right? And I feel like with you, there's like a very spiritual component to the energy that I'm picking up from this Divine Feminine card, right? It's very grounded, very rooted, has the ability to be alone. It's associated with the number 7, which is a very spiritual and godly sort of card. Over here we have unfolding according to your will. Change me, divine beloved, into one who lets you guide things according to your will. May the highest unfold in all ways. And I feel like this person who is this Emperor card, so it can be a male or it could be a female who is very masculine, very just a different approach to life in a way. It's interesting too because here we have the 2 of Swords. These are 2 different decks. And so you could see the difference between the 2 of them. I feel like one represents this Emperor card, who is this person that we're speaking about, and then this one represents you as this Divine Feminine. And so I feel like with this Emperor, this individual that we're speaking of who has a problem with you, it's like, I think they really envy the fact that you just seem to be at peace and a lot more grounded than they are, right? Because these 2 cards are, a card's about like conflict, or not even conflict, but about decision making, because I'm associating with this unfolding card. So if you're able to, some people struggle to make decisions, especially when they don't have, what am I trying to say? So like I'm thinking from a masculine quote unquote perspective, or a male perspective of, and I'm just talking about the energies of being able to weigh out the pros and the cons. So with the 2 of Swords, it's really about not being able to see things, not having all the pros and the cons, not being able to sort of like predict the future in a way. So it's like you are kind of blindfolded. You don't really know what's coming next. It's kind of like having an iceberg and you don't know what's sort of beneath the ocean or what's underneath it, right? So there's an element of not knowing. So how can you really weigh it out in that way? So that kind of renders that process a little bit useless in these sorts of situations. So I see this person having a lot of conflict when they're not able to have all the answers or predict what's coming up next. And so with you, on the other hand, it's like I see you as being someone who is able to let things unfold as they are. And I guess be better at just grounding yourself and being okay with it. Because with this individual, I see them as, first of all, being envious of the fact that you can ground yourself, that you're more at peace, and that you allow things to unfold as they are. Or even if they don't unfold as they are, you're sort of okay with sort of like, because I see this as someone who kind of gets up after meditating and then knowing, like there's no longer a crossroad, knowing what they're going to do. Whereas I feel like this person's, this is kind of weird to explain. It just feels like harsher, like I think they just see you as a person that's very grounded and that you're able to receive information. Because with Isis, this is Isis right here. She's a goddess. This is another thing that I'm picking up right now. I don't know if you have people that are, like I'm talking about males here, that sort of like fight for your attention a little bit. Um, this could be for some of you where this is an issue with them. They they see you as somebody who is that people look up to. You know, when I think of Isis, it's someone that people look up to for generations, someone that people look up to, someone that people admire, but someone who is independent. That's what I get with this loneliness card. But I'm not taking it, and I'm taking it in a positive way. And this is the Seven of Vessels. It's about like, this is just stuff that's sort of in their mind, just how their perception of you is, you know? And so maybe you're sort of unfazed by the attention that you get, and you let things sort of like play out. Like there could be people right in front of you having a conflict or having an issue or fighting over something, and you're just completely chilled and relaxed and meditative, and then you sort of like know what to do in those sorts of situations, in situations where other people may. Yeah, so maybe you're a bit of a heartbreaker. I'm getting this as well with these two cards. I feel like, or, or you know when, um, say there's like two guys that are like fighting over you, or both like you, or both trying to impress you. I feel like there's some situations where, because this is reminding me of a particular person, for some reason, where it's like they want you to just hurry up and make a decision on something, right? They're like, well, do you like me? Well, what's going on? Or like, da da da. And it's like they're always like in a rush. It's like, and here with the Temperance in reverse, it's like someone who's impatient, you know? It's like this go-getter attitude. But sometimes it's too much. It's like we like to let things unfold as they should and play out as they're meant to. And, you know, I'm getting this magnetic. Yeah, so it's like, that sort of approach to things, like letting things play out, not feeling like, you know, it's like that feminine energy, like people coming to you, letting things unfold, letting things play out. Like people can be envious of that because it feels like, well, how are you magnetizing these things to you? You seem sort of like unbothered or so at peace. So it's like, how are these things like coming to you? And even if you're presented with, you know, an offer, it's like you don't necessarily make that decision. You let things play out, you know? And I feel like that's very frustrating. That could be very frustrating for people who are impatient or who don't understand when you're someone that's like very deeply connected, you know, this divine feminine sort of energy of this things coming to you. It's like I'm thinking about like manifestation right now, and like letting things come to you. So people think that, oh, like look at this person, like they just have stuff just come to them, you know? Or even when, okay, I just got another message too. Okay, you see how there's two hearts here. There's a heart in her chest, and then there's a heart right here. And I feel like it's almost like even when people think that something bad is going to happen, it's like you have a way of like avoiding it or averting it at the last moment. And it's not you, it's just that, you know, maybe some higher a higher thing is like protecting you in some sort of way, right? Like you just seem sort of like powerful. So it's reminding me of a situation where someone tried to set me up to make me look bad, and in the end, like, I didn't have any bad intentions towards them, and it just completely reversed on them. And I didn't even have to do anything about it. And I remember reflecting back on it and thinking, wow, like, that's crazy. Like, it totally worked out in my favor. And I just left it alone, even though at that time I wanted to retaliate. But I just said, okay, let me cool off. Let me just let it be. And that's what I'm getting with this grounding yourself. And then things sort of unfold in your favor, And it's like picture it going from this card to this card, right? Where there's a conflict, or there's like a crossroads, or there's people going at it, and then ultimately the swords are put down and you're able to get up and remove your blindfold, and things are sort of in your favor in a way. And I think that this person just imagines you as somebody who's very lucky and very magnetic, or that people are drawn to, and that you're just so at peace, and that things don't really, like, you escape bad things happening, or there's something about you that is able to see it from a mile away. And so I just get this feeling that this person just has a difficult time understanding you. Because, I mean, when you think about the emperor and or the divine masculine, the divine feminine, it's not even divine. It's just somebody who relies on that sort of masculine approach. I think that they can be very confused by spirituality, by femininity, by, because I'm even thinking about a lot of times, like, the way that we're raised is to be, very proactive, to go out. Like, that's how I was raised, okay? I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it's just to go out there, to make things happen, to rely on your own strength and your willpower alone. And then when you see someone who it just seems like they're just relaxed, they're at peace, they're more grounded and calm, and they're able to use their intuition, or they have some type of like superpower of some sort where things just unfold and it just sort of works out in the best possible way. People sort of perceive that as lucky. And so it's really big on this envy card. I am the same as everybody with different challenges. And I feel like you have your own challenges, and I'm sure that this person isn't aware and isn't able to see what those are. But they imagine that I don't know, and I'm also getting a feeling like, how sometimes people will prefer to be alone, and some people take offense to that. It's not even that you have a problem with them. It's just that you enjoy your own company, or there's activities that you like to do that are more solitary. And if you do spend time with people, it's people that are like you're meant to sort of be with or to be around. Like, you don't try and force things. Like, I'm getting this big feeling of you don't try and force things. And with this emperor person, I feel like they're so used to trying to put things together and to force things and to make things happen. And so it's just probably very confusing, which I'm getting with the 7 of Cups card right here. Is very confusing for them. They're thinking like, WTF. It's mysterious, right? It's mysterious. And so, and maybe this person also has an unhealed feminine aspect to themselves. And when I say that, it's because when I think of the emperor, the masculine versus like a toxic masculine versus a divine masculine, I think with the divine masculine is someone who is able to, have order and structure and be a go-getter, but also has that loving, compassionate side to them as well. And so, I think this person just doesn't really understand you. and the way that things unfold for you and the way that things happen for you. And it doesn't really understand the power of like meditation, maybe manifestation, things like that. And so they just imagine that, you know, you have things a lot easier and that things always work out in your favor. But they probably don't realize that you've probably done a lot of work to get to where you're at, because it does take effort to ground yourself, right? Because I'm thinking of the situation that I brought up earlier where I did not react to a situation that I was so close to reacting to, and it completely worked out in my favor. Like complete opposite, like it completely flipped the script on the other person, and I didn't even have to lift a finger. It was like God took care of that for me, you know? And so it's like, damn it, you know, this person's pissed, right? They're like, how did you avoid this? You know, this. So yeah. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting with this reading. Yeah, I just don't think they see the challenges that you have, or the effort that it takes into being someone that is a little bit more on the spiritual side, or it's not even spiritual, because I think the feminine is very spiritual as well. Like, you know, to be receptive and meditative and to ground yourself and to heal and to allow things to flow. Like it's hard to step back and let things unfold on their own sometimes, because there is a tendency sometimes to want to control things. And I think that's where the envy really kicks in. And I think that's why this person sort of seems to have a problem with you. Because sometimes people want answers and they want them right away. They want you to make a decision. Are you going to be with me or are you not? Do you like me or do you not? And it's like, well, just chill out. Like, let's let things unfold. And some people don't have the patience or aren't healed enough to really understand how that works. And so, yeah, I just think that's the issue. That's the issue with this. And I think that it leaves a lot up to the imagination of this person, of interpreting your actions, right? And it's probably drives them nuts a little bit, having to let things unfold, being not being in control. Yeah, and so I think it's where you are sort of like a magnet to some people. Some people can be sort of repelled by that, you know? Like, you know how some people, like, I just got the example pop into my mind. Like, say if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, and, oh my God, I think I just lost the idea. It just came and then it just left. And then people will say things like, oh my God, I completely lost it. That's probably what this person's like. They just don't get it. um, Damn it, that example's gonna bother me. But anyways, it's gone. It is what it is. So that's your reading, group 1. If you liked it, please leave me a like. Please comment if you'd like to. Subscribe to see more videos, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, group 2. Those of you who picked this Petrified Wood and this Keeper of Swords, aka the Page of Swords, this is your reading on why they have a problem with you. Okay, so I see you, okay, so there's a lot of elements of like transformation and change, and someone who's able to endure a lot in this reading. So I see that with this Petrified Wood, with Bloodstone, with Moldavite, Chaos and Conflict. And then we have these 2 Rest and Recharge cards. I make time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. And this 4 of Swords right here. And someone who's very bold, like there's Brazen right here as well. Like, look at this. Yeah. Okay, so they have a problem with you. I feel like this has to do a lot with chaos and conflict, and right? So I feel like you're the type of person who isn't so ruffled up with, you know how some people avoid conflict? I feel like you've changed into a person that embraces conflict. And the reason why I say that is because I'm seeing this as you embrace conflict. You see that there's benefits of conflict. It's like with this King of Earth, I'm seeing like a really mature approach to conflict, and sort of like, the things that happen when there's conflict. It's like the arguing. It can be very draining for some people, and maybe you were a person that drained once upon a time, but you've moved past it. Because Bloodstone, it's I think this card is like perseverance and just having like really thick. I don't want to say thick skin. Like, I don't know. That's how I take it, as thick skin. Um, and maybe this person is sort of like, okay. Let me start over with this. So I think that you're a person that is very mature when it comes to conflict or when there's disagreements or anything like that. Um, and the reason why I say that is because there's victim in reverse. Um, I take this as you're not a person that's gonna like play victim, um, and that you're very open minded. This is the Page of Swords. So you're open to conflict. You're open. You see the benefits of it. You kind of see it as something that I'm seeing this rainbow now, that there's like a light at the end of the tunnel for, and you're not going to sit there and allow things to continue on and on and on, without sort of like addressing it and then being the victim sort of thing. So you'd rather, address it and then recover from it, which is right here, the Four of Swords, and I take time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. And so I see you as someone who's able to take sort of like a difficult situation and then have the audacity, that word just came to my mind, to change it. And I think that that's like a very mature sort of thing to do, right? Like, you're not going to sit there and be the victim. You're not going to sit there and just kind of just allow things to just continue happening. Like, you're going to be open to facing it head on in a way, and then knowing that if it drains you or tires you out, you can always reset and recharge and take some time out for yourself. And I feel like some people have a problem with conflict. I used to have a problem with conflict. But it's like you have to see it all the way through to the end to reap the benefit of it. And I think it's something that as you mature, you start to get better at it. You start to be more confident and seeing it as like an opportunity for things to get better, as opposed to something that where you would just like throw in the towel and just walk away from. Like, it's something that you can still like change, or you still have power in it. So I think they have a problem with you because I don't know. I'm just very heavy on this victim card. Like, some people really have a problem with someone speaking up, or having the audacity to address something, you know? Um, yeah, they just do. I mean, it's something that I noticed as for sure. Um, Sometimes people want you to be a victim, or they want you to not have boundaries, or to not stand up for yourself, or to not address things, or they want you to flip out on them and to deal with conflict in a way. Like, sometimes, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I guess there's different ways of dealing with conflict, and maybe sometimes people can be upset when you address things in a very nice and pleasant manner. It's like in a very mature way, in a very practical, responsible, gentle, caring, loving sort of way, to sort of, get to the bottom of it. Um, and yeah, some people will still have a problem with that. I feel like this person has a problem with conflict. Um, like, they don't know how to move past it. So maybe you've had conflict with this person and you're like you're done and over with it. And you've shifted, your energy's better, like, everything's good, but it's like this person hasn't moved past it. it's kind of like a grudge holder type of feeling. And it isn't so much that you addressed it and that you're not, it's more that you had like the audacity to say something about it, or to, um, yeah. It's like I almost feel like this person has a problem with your personality or the fact that you're confident. Like maybe this is an older person to you. Like that's what I'm starting to think of right now. Because I'm seeing you as this page, and then maybe they're like this king over here, and so it's sort of like they're not used to you speaking up for yourself, or trying to find solutions to things that are bothering you. You know. Whereas before, maybe in the past, you would just sort of walk away from situations. Like now, you've changed to be someone that would just address it head on and just try and find peace and resolution with it. Or sometimes this person will try and stir up conflict with you, and you just walk away from it because you're like, I don't got time for this. Um, it's like you're someone who's like really adapting to this person's like games. I just, this is another thing that I'm getting. It's like this person might be playing games, or no, it's not playing games, but like um is like very well versed in like creating conflict and chaos. And now you're like learning how to deal with it, and it's sort of like helped you step up your game in a way of how to have thicker skin, how to move past it, um like so that you're no longer a victim of this person, right? um because I'm getting that this person might be like, because now this word professional standing up at me, or standing up at me. Ew, I don't know what that meant. Standing up at me. Yeah, maybe this person's used to being the person to stand up, and now you're standing up to them. I don't know. It's like it's kind of a weird. Um, it's kind of like a weird energy. But I definitely see that you've adapted to this person, and they're no longer able to sort of, I have to keep saying, run the same games on you, like, you know. um and I think that you've adapted in a way that you're no longer gonna play a victim. You're not gonna be a victim of this anymore. Like you've really changed and have become a lot more bold in the way that you know, set up your boundaries for yourself. I guess you will engage with some sort of conflict if it's productive, but if it's not, then I could see you as sort of walking away, and saying, hey, like, I'm not going to drain myself because of this person. I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to like deal with it in different ways. And I feel like maybe now your toolkit is a lot more, um, like you have more tools in your kit in dealing with someone who seems to be really good at like um at like not fighting with others, but like um I don't know, or maybe they're just older than you or something like that. So for some of you guys, I feel like this is about this person avoiding conflict, and then for others of you, I feel like this person's older than you, and is used to being the one to put you in sort of a corner where they would drain your strength, and now they're not able to get to you in that same way. And so um, there's like some level of like audacity that they think that you have right now, that you're no longer going to be the victim, and that you've changed so much, and that you've adapted to their ways, um, so that they can no longer like, I guess it's victimize you. I mean, whether or not they're aware that they're doing that, but victimize you in the sense of like, just steal your energy, drain your energy. Um, and so I think they're just not able to adapt to you in this way, like in the changes that you've made. Like they're more stuck in their ways. Um, and yeah. Because I can also see this as somebody who you may try and level with, um, but they're just not really as open to change as you are, right? Um, and now they're sort of seeing themselves as like a victim of you. I don't know. This is really weird. Like I'm getting a narcissistic sort of feeling from this as well. Like someone who's like really good at, I'm seeing it as, when there's chaos and there's conflict and it's like, oh, I'm seeing it as like a whole bunch of sand, like in the desert, that's just like kind of like a sandstorm. But when it settles, you're able to see what's what and what just happened. But this person sort of thrives in an environment of like this chaos or this conflict. Yeah. So anyways, I hope that this made sense for you guys as to why this person has a problem with you. Um, yeah, like I just really get the sense that you've changed a lot. And this is probably someone that's probably been in your life for a while. Like you've transformed a lot. You're no longer going to be the victim. You're going to take ownership of your life, put the right boundaries in place. If there has to be a bit of conflict, that you will go ahead and do that. Um, and just be a little more bold in establishing what those things are. And that now that you're more willing to adapt to other people and how they are, um, whereas maybe in the past, and this person is not used to change, because with the King of Earth, it's like someone who's very stable and practical, and someone who's, I feel like, set in their ways, right? Because that's what I get with like the King of Pentacles, and they're just not really big on change, and so maybe they just don't know how to deal with this new version of you. So yeah, so that's the reading, group 2. If you liked it, please give it a like. Please subscribe for more readings. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, group 3. Those of you who picked this Shamanic Quartz and this 10 of Vessels, this is your reading on why they have a problem with you. Okay, so there are 2 characters in this reading. There is the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Fire. And I see you as the Queen of Swords and this other person being the Knight of Fire. And with this Queen of Swords, this is from the Thoth deck, and I just feel like you can see here how this Queen of Swords has her sword, and then she has this mask that she just like ripped off someone's head. Like that's like the visualization that I get. Well, that's what it is, right? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I think that you're very quick-witted and very quick to, I don't want to say rip off someone's mask. That's how it sort of just came out right now. But I think that you're able to tell, like, you're a very good judge of character, and if someone's being false with you or not. You know what I mean? It's like you're able to take off their mask real quick. And I'm seeing no. And this no is like from this person is like, they don't like that. They don't want you to see them for like who they are. And I think that they just don't like that. And so what I'm seeing is like this person here, this is the 10 of Cups, right? And it's all like a bunch of presents that are packaged. And I think some people like to hide behind like an outer package of things looking really good, right? Or something like that. And you just sort of come in and you're able to just like wield this sword and see what's beneath the wrap of an individual, like who their true character is, right? And and I'm getting that with the moon and this person, because this person comes across as very, here it says passionate, adventurous, self-assured, restless, a sudden event that needs immediate attention, time is of the essence, think things through carefully. So maybe this is a person that is very like acts on their instincts really quickly. They don't think things all the way through to the end necessarily. And so I think that now they feel like they have to walk not on eggshells, but they have to be careful with you, right? It's like you make them nervous in a way, because it's like you shine a light on them. So here we have the sun and this is the moon. It's like you're able to shine a light on them. You're able to like unwrap this present of who they are. And they don't like that. Like they reject this like very strongly. Like here's the 4 of Cups, is about rejection, and here's a big no. And they're both in reverse, so this is very, very strong. And so I think this person is used to like the 2 of Cups in reverse. I'm getting like they just don't like people who are able to like read them very well. We have the Great Mystery here in reverse as well. Um, it's almost like I'm getting this feeling of this person being very outgoing and appearing to be very self-assured. It's like people who act very confident, but deep down they're not. Like it's like that imposter syndrome. I'm feeling like this person feels like a sense of like being an imposter, and like you have a way of like they feel like you have this is a shamanic quartz, so like you have some other means of like, and she's up in the clouds, this is a stone of like astral travel, shamanic journeying. She's up in the clouds, and I feel like this person just gets this sense and this intuition or this strong feeling that you're able to just read them. This is like the parts that they kind of keep hidden, and I guess like they just don't like that. They don't like, I guess, being exposed like that. They like to, I don't know, keep sort of things to themselves. Like it's reminding me of one time. This is just an example. It just popped in my head. Like I was talking to somebody, and they asked me what high school I went to, and I told them, and then I asked them, oh, like what high school did you go to? And so they told me a high school, and I was like, oh my God, that school was built in like 2000 and something. You must be this age. And they're like, whoa, like I could just felt that they didn't like that. And it's sort of like things where people realize that your mind kind of works pretty quickly and that you're able to get more information from them based on them just giving you a small amount of information. And that kind of scares them in a way, because it's like, I don't know, they just don't like it. They don't like it. And I feel like that's this person's sort of problem with you, is that I don't know, it's like there's something about you that they can't pinpoint. And I think that they don't like relationships with people where they can't they're not they don't want relationships with people that like they can't be their fake selves with. Like I don't want to say fake selves, but like they like to present themselves in a way like these presents here, right? Like it's just like such a happy scene right here. You know what I'm saying? Like they like that air of mystery to be present. Like they want to be in control of how they're perceived, and you come in and you just like boom, like like off with their head. Um, Not really off with their head, but you're just very quick to snatch the mask off somebody, and like this person likes to flex. That's another thing I just got. Like I'm looking at these peacock feathers, and I'm like, this person likes to flex. They that brings them some type of good feeling to flex a little bit, and I feel like they can present themselves as charming or whatever to certain people, but with you might kind of side eye them a little bit with that, and so it kind of brings them down a couple notches. Like they don't feel as confident or self assured in your presence, because it's like you shine some sort of light on them, or they feel like maybe they're under the microscope, and it makes them feel a little restless, and they're just not, they don't know, they're used to being able to, like I said, like tiptoe and like go from this to go from that, and so now they have to do a lot more in-depth thinking with how to go about things with you, kind of thing, and they're just not as quick as you, right? Because like the Knight of Fire is pretty quick, the Queen of Swords is pretty quick, but I feel like they're quick with their actions, but their mind may not be as swift as yours. And I think that's where like the problem lies. And yeah, so I don't know, like I guess I don't know. They just don't really like that. Like they like, I mean, I don't know. I think this person's pretty handsome here too. I mean, maybe it's a male figure that we're talking about who's just used to just you know looking good, being like perceived a certain way, and sort of this hot shot type of feeling to them, and you're like, oh, I know that's not really you. um, I guess people don't like the feeling of being not transparent, but like, what's that the word, like where you can see through them in a way, or see through the facade. And I guess sometimes they wonder like how much you're able to really see and how much is really, um, and maybe there's an air of mystery to you as well, right? Like they don't really understand, um, like your mental processes or how things are so clear to you or where you're getting this information from. It's like now that I'm thinking of a shaman, I mean, a lot of shamans have had to sort of hide their practices, in the past because, people were afraid of the unknown or the mystery of how they're able to get certain information and stuff like that and how they're able to bring certain things to light. And it's kind of scary to them. And so I guess with you and this person, I'm also getting that with other people, I feel like it's sort of one-sided in the sense that they're able to present a certain picture or an image of themselves and it's accepted without challenge, whereas I think with you that's not the case. And yeah, and they just don't like that. They don't like that. It just, yeah, it gives them anxiety. And so I don't know, sometimes the easiest way is to like to push someone away is like, I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but I don't know. There's ways that you can reject. It's like maybe it's like that saying of like, oh, let me reject them before they reject me type of thing. Um, Maybe there's a bit of that going on. Maybe they only want to be around people who are going to look at them in this like great light, who are going to, like when they're flexing, you're going to be like singing their praises or just kind of going along with it or, and if you're a person that like the Queen of Swords is somebody who I think can be also, could be like about being talkative, but maybe you're not as talkative, but the few things that you do say sort of give an air of mystery, and maybe this person doesn't like that. Um, yeah, so maybe they think that you're rejecting them, or they don't get the same feedback from you that they would from someone else who sort of like buys into this depiction or this sort of outward picture of how they like to present themselves with other people. And so yeah, they don't like it. They don't like that. So that's that's their problem with you, is that I don't know, you have an air of mystery to you as well. And so maybe the few times you do speak, it sort of throws them off their game. So yeah, so that's your reading, group 3. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment if you wish, and subscribe to see more videos. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.